Okay, we're on the air. Welcome to the Omega Mind Accountability Call for Wednesday, March 25th, 2015. Bruce Clinton and Jocelyn are here. I understand Donna and Hubbard are coming. That's cool. So, Bruce, what was your assignment and how did you do?
My assignment was from you for the private coaching call, or?
Well, that, and remember I gave you each individual sort of assignments when we did our group call, but just...
Well, my assignment was to practice, and to look up individual people that I could talk to that know me or have done business with me or will do business with me, which I've made a lot of appointments for the coming weeks, so to speak, so far, and I've redone my since our coaching call. I've redone our my step 1 and 2.
So talk to me about how you're feeling. How many people have you reached out to? How is that feeling for you in terms of, you were feeling a little behind the 8 ball and, some other stuff. How are you feeling now about your ability to do that and to...
Well, the more people I see, the better I feel.
Okay. So how many have you seen? 1, 2, 5, 10, 50?
Well, let's go on the book here. The accountability forum.
Good, because we're going to talk about that today. We're going to start having. I'm not going to cover that here on the call at all, but it is going to be required for you guys to turn those in. So how many did you cover? I'm waiting for you, Bruce. How many did you get a chance to talk to? Ballpark.
1, 2. Well, these are appointments and talk to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
How many rejects did you get? Not interested. Thanks. Sounds really interesting, but not for me.
Well, a lot of these are centers of influence as well. So I've gotten 1 reject,
okay.
Which was a lead followed up from the assessment company, and I'm about ready to send them close the file because I've emailed him twice, called him twice, and he requested information. So
okay,
give him an opportunity to kiss off.
All right. So, but it's just no big deal. I mean, people tell me to go away all the time. Okay,
you're going to get a lot more no's before you get a yes.
Yeah, yeah. So have you had any bites?
I have one person that I'm working with who's a long-term client that needs succession planning. It's an attorney.
Okay.
And I have a manufacturing concern that I'm working with, but that was before we started, what we're doing.
Okay, so you have no new bites. That's okay. There's just straight up. So you have no new bites.
Nope.
You have 11 people that you've talked, or 11 or 12 that you've talked to. 1 go away, and 1 that you're going to send the close the file letter to. In the next week or 2 or so, you have some appointments. How are you feeling about your confidence and about your ability to language? What you and I talked about was to shorten it, make it fast, make it seem easy, bubbly, in conjunction or in consistency with people's attention spans and their desire to solve things quickly as opposed to take a long time.
I'm working that into my presentation. That was Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
And that was very, very helpful. I just put one more recently on Google Hangout. I mean on our Facebook page that I'm working over. I seem to put this at the end. Kind of making I've put rapid into my presentation. I've used pretty much the languaging in the beginning that Glenn utilized or helped me with, and it seemed to resonate okay. So it gets more like me at the end when I talk to him about isn't that what it's all about? Fun, profit. More personal options. It's easier to do the work right the first time with processes than random processes that will keep you getting deeper in trouble. that kind of languaging.
Okay, so the ultimate the ultimate test as to whether something's right or not is if it works and people hire you. So I don't care what language I give you, if it doesn't work, or you're not comfortable saying it, or it doesn't make people want to know more, and you need to tweak it, you need to change it. And same thing with anything Glenn gave you or anybody gives you. The ultimate test is, does it work? When I give you something, or Glenn or anybody, it's because we used it and it worked, but it may in a different avatar, different situation, whatever. So take it, try it, definitely try the things that work, and try them enough so that they're comfortable for you. Lots of times when we get stuff, we try it and it doesn't work, but it's like trying to use a screwdriver when all we've ever used is a hammer. And so until you know how to use a screwdriver, you're going to think it's the stupidest thing in the world. But after you learn how to use a screwdriver, then it's a very elegant tool, right? Okay. So I'm sometimes guilty of this. I want to hurry up, and if it doesn't work like I think it ought to work the first time, oh, you mean I have to take it out of the package and plug it in before it works? Oh, okay. That kind of thing. Don't do that with some idea. But, you don't stay rigidly hooked to it, and you know that. You've had enough experience to understand all that kind of stuff. Are there particular questions that you have about the assignments from our private coaching or the group coaching here that you want to talk about right now?
No.
Okay.
No, really. I know what I have to do. It's practice, practice, practice. Try it out, see the people. So I've made a lot of appointments. I'm just gonna keep plugging.
Are you feeling pretty comfortable?
The more I practice, the more I get comfortable. Yes.
Isn't that funny? The more you practice, the better you get, and the more comfortable you get. Who would have thought?
Well, yeah, but as in golf, practice makes permanent. So you want to practice the right things, right?
Practice makes permanent. That's true. All right, good. Well, I can tell you right now, the energy around you as you talk to me is way different than the first calls when you were panicked about technology. You didn't know how to do it. You felt like you were behind, and you felt like you had to give this heavy, awesome, convincing presentation in order to do it, and you found that it didn't resonate, didn't work very well, and you couldn't work your way through it in a convincing way. And you know what I mean? That whole pile of energy, just watching you right now.
Yeah, well, I'm finding a lot of the stuff is coming easier. I'm working on technology. I got on a Google Hangouts with you. That was the first time I did that, and I found that was pretty easy. I like the idea of David and Glenn doing 51-minute suggestions, or 1-minute knowledge points, or what I've forgotten what they call it, but 1-minute videos concerning your expertise, or taking content and putting it on the internet. I like that.
Why would that be interesting? So I didn't know they were doing that, but I understand what's going on. In fact, David, he got that because he came to the event. So I think. But why would you? Why is that interesting? Why do you like it? What do you think?
Because it can be repurposed into something later on. It's practicing what you're, practicing your expertise, your knowledge. I don't see anything wrong with it, frankly.
It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it in the world. So here are the things. It gets you really fluid and quick. You can do something in 1 minute. And you can clank it out. Clank it out. Crank it out. Boom, boom, boom.
Clink it out for me.
Crank, whatever. So you get good and you get easy and fast and practiced at it. That's beautiful. That's perfect. That's wonderful. The second thing is it's action. Every day you get into action. I'm going to pull out my phone. I'm going to shoot another video. So today, 1 point for your comprehensive thing of your personnel crap is never forget to show people where the bathrooms are. That's one of the most asked questions.
Or
whatever. Yeah.
I'm dumping.
Use funny examples. Where's the pencil sharpener? Who would have thought that was the reason somebody quit? They couldn't find the pencil sharpener. When they went to find out where it was, somebody made them feel stupid. Now, isn't that a dumb reason to leave a company? But it happened. Okay, there's one. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
All right. And those are funny, they're interesting, but what it does for you is it gets you in the mood, it gets you thinking about your stuff, not just about it, but about little ways to use examples. And then when you're doing presentations, these quick examples come to you, and you get fluid, and you get fast, and it feels like, yeah, the dude's on top of this stuff, right?
Right.
Perfect. Any other questions or things that we can talk about your stuff?
No, I thought the session was great, and I thank you publicly.
You're welcome. Jocelyn, so what have you been doing? What was your assignment, and did you do it, and how you coming?
Okay, what I did for the for who my that and unlike I integrated from from your feedback from Saturday, the one-on-one, to have a more like I have changed it, massage it so that it reflects more like I'm talking to one person, one woman, and her aches and pains.
Yeah.
So I have done that, and I'm pretty. I feel pretty good about it. I know there's more work to do, but it feels good when I record it. It feels like I'm owning it.
Now the way you're talking to me right now is a more. I like it. It feels like before. When I would watch you present it, it feels like you felt locked into a script, a particular thing, and it is helpful for us to memorize things, don't get me wrong, but when you overlearn, like the alphabet, or your name, or address, or phone number you had when you were a kid, or something you can remember forever because you overlearned it, what happens is these things, just like we were talking, Bruce, the things that you have are at your fingertips all the time, and then they become what you have to say, and then you find yourself using these in common speak, and you don't have to think about them. And so when you're talking to the one gal, and you think about talking to her, you find yourself just using these phrases and the sayings and the things. Well, you know, da-da-da. And you'll say the ones that you memorize and practice, and the way you're speaking right now is more relaxed, and more like you own it instead of you're fighting with it.
Yeah, it's more me, because in the past, it felt so mechanical. I had to think about the structure, where it fits in. Now I know the structure. I can just, whatever, go with the flow, having that as a foundation.
Yeah, it's perfect. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit F5 and refresh. So nobody go away. I'm hearing some crackles. And are you guys hearing crackles in the audio? Like
No.
No, it's clear.
All right, hold on. I'm going to hit my F5. Don't go away.
Jocelyn, your presentation was a lot clearer, I thought.
Yeah. Thank you.
I liked
Thank you for taking the time to look at it. I appreciate it.
Well, you're more than welcome. You do the same.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, it's better now. Cool. All right, it's still recording. If you're on a PC, you can just hit F5 or Control F5. It depends on if you're a laptop. What it does is it reboots the browser, and it stays in the Hangout, and it was still recording and everything, but it resets it. And sometimes if there's a technical problem, like the microphone's all cleared up now, it seems to be doing better. So cool. So Jocelyn, it does feel like that, and this is why I was so ruthless, and I'm going to continue to be absolutely ruthless with you to practice 50 times, 100 times, because this is who you're trying to be, and you're trying to be the special you that can give things that nobody else can give. Well, if it's forced and it's stiff for you to act like it, who's going to believe you?
Actually, I'm going to practice, I'm going to a networking event. There will be about 30 to 50 people. So I will get the chance to practice the new version of what I have. So I will test it.
And try, just try different things. And the key to that, and you know this because you're a good networker, just listen. Oh, how's your work? Oh, what the problem? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I have struggled with that too. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. And so when you listen to people, when you finally do answer them and they get embarrassed, they go, well, I'm talking too much. Tell me a little bit about you. Well, you've described a lot about me. I've struggled with the very same things that she's just given you all this stuff about. But, I finally got tired of it, and I finally decided, to do something, and here's what worked for me. Oh, really? Well, tell me a little bit more about that. And so they're not aching to talk because you've already, milked them. You've let them talk and talk and talk. Cool. So then they're going to be just fine letting you talk, right?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Kellen, is a lot like fishing. This is a lot like fishing. You really have to dangle the bait or not be too fast on the tell. It's fishing.
It's exactly like that. Look, people hate to be sold to, and they hate you if they think you're trying to sell them something. But we all love to buy stuff. But we want to feel like we're buying a cool thing. And we want to feel like we figured out that it was cool ourselves, and that we got a deal, and that we found the good one. Then we like to spend money and buy stuff. But we hate to be sold to, so don't sell. Just listen and talk and be a resource and be a solution. Hey, yeah, you described a lot of the things I've been through. Heck, man, I remember blah, 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 a company, or, I was in a company working, and I had a boss that would just keep putting people down all the time, and I got to be where I was doubting myself. And I know that feeling, and finally, the boss moved, or I finally quit, or, and I realized that it was just stuff. And so, I saw that happening to so many coworkers. And it seemed like a disease where we were all sitting in this fungus, of disempowerment, and like we're not good enough, and we have to get praise from some other entity, that we work for, whatever. You know what I mean? And it's such and people can relate to that. And then you say, and so I finally figured out what the problem was. I wasn't acknowledging my own self. I was subjugating, I was subordinating my true power, and that my worth as a human being to this external, I had to, like, we lined up to go by the zookeeper and get petted every morning. And how silly is that, I mean, they go home and take a shower just like I do. What? We're all the same. So we have different assignments, and I finally figured out how to connect with my own power. And I connected them. Today, I live in joy. I live in peace. I wake up every day. I'm excited. Blah, 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 blah. And, it was so obvious, the change in me, that people ask, what's different about you, Jocelyn? Well, then, I realized that other people needed this too. And I thought, well, I could actually build something to help them go through the journey that I did, only faster. So they don't have to stand in line at the zoo 20 times instead of 2,000. Okay, cool. So then I went and built this thing. And it's so cool because now I get to help people everywhere. And you stop there until they say, really? How do you do that? Oh, glad you asked.
So what do you say? Because usually when you go to networking, they always ask you, what do you do? So would I say, oh, tell me about you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. You know what I do? I'll say to this. Jocelyn, you say to me what you do. You know what I do, Jocelyn? I walk around and ask people and learn about what they do, because that's the thing that makes me the most excited. So please do me a favor and you tell me first. And then I listen. And then I ask. And I find out, well, what's hard about that? Is that easy? Oh, that sounds like a really impressive accomplishment. What's the hardest part of that job? What's the easiest part? You work for cool people? Oh, you work for yourself? How long have you been an entrepreneur? Oh, cool. Was it hard? Are you still struggling? Yeah, I know. That can be a real drag, getting in leads. What do you do for that? Have you got good balance in your life, or do you find yourself working to death? I talk to so many entrepreneurs, it's like working themselves to the ground. How do you do that? Oh, yeah, you too. Yeah. So what do you think about that? You going to do that forever, or is it going to kill you? And you let them talk. You do not have to. I don't. Okay. You know what happened? I'll tell you two guys, and whoever watches this later. I got a call 3 or 4 days ago from somebody I don't know. Never heard of them. Got my phone number, I don't know where. They talked to some people who knew me. Watched a few videos. Called me up. I've had 3 conversations with them on the phone. Their first coaching call for an entire year program, which they have signed up for I'm not going to say how much, but it's a lot of money, is right after this call.
Wow. And
it happened just like I'm telling you. Because I'm public on Facebook, because I go ask questions, I'm doing what I'm telling you.
We're all going to be shorting ourselves until we get up on Facebook, get all these things working for us as far as leads.
Yeah, and you don't have to do anything. Just be you. Just be willing to be it out loud.
So
do you always announce your company and who you are before you do it?
Nope. Dude, are you not watching my Facebook wall? Have you learned nothing? Do you want to know how I make the money I make, which is a lot? Would you please watch my Facebook wall?
Facebook
It's free.
Wall? Facebook wall?
My wall, my stream, my log on to Facebook and find me.
Facebook.
Send me a friend request. Jocelyn, you can teach him how to do that after if he's done. Friend me on Facebook, all of you that are watching this now or later, and follow what I do. Everything that I do is strategic, it is intentional, and it makes me money. Okay?
Are you on LinkedIn too?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I got a nice LinkedIn profile, but I don't do very much with it. I should be publishing more. I just don't have time to be active on all of them, and quite frankly, Facebook's the best.
Really? Okay.
For me, for getting transformational coaching clients and marketing coaching clients, I find Facebook the best. I might be able to get some clients and stuff on LinkedIn. In fact, I'm sure I could. I just haven't had time to build my LinkedIn army processes yet to go publish regularly. But if I did, it would be posting a little bit differently written articles. So if you watch my Facebook wall, which is my Facebook stream, I would do exactly the same things, except I would change the language. Instead of wearing a hoodie and doing the things that you'll see of the last few days, I've started a series on Keys to Power. Keys to Power. It's a 50-part series, not 15, 50-part series. I put the outline together for it in an afternoon.
So your Facebook wall, it's open only to your friends?
No, it's not. Well, then friend me. No, it's not. It's public, but some people do that. I set my stuff public. Everything's public. My Facebook is a business tool. I am not trying to go connect with cats on roller skates, pictures, and whatever. I'll put some of those up and join I in a restaurant, and we'll shoot a little video and whatever. You got to be willing to live out loud. People have got to want to be like you. They want to be like Bruce, the wise old dude that knows how to maximize valuation for companies. They want to be like Jocelyn, the liberated woman who's figured out how to connect with her true awesomeness and lives every day in joy and power. They want to be like Donna, who's got systems in place that make businesses roll so much they've got free time. Or like David, the entrepreneur guy that's helping entrepreneurs, increase the value of their company so that they can sell it and it funds their retirement, and on and on and on and on. But they got to want to be like you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this any clearer. You got to be the green grass they want to be in that yard. Running around saying, I got some cool stuff you need to buy, is the last thing in the world that will build your business. Why do you think Glenn shows pictures of the home and the lake and the sunset? It's so that everybody that watches it can say, I want to be like him. I want to be in that green grass in that other yard. So then you got to be that green grass. To the people that need you. Not to everybody in the world. To the 50 clients you want. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't watch my Facebook wall, hey, cool, I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings any. But David is. Hubbard.
Yeah.
And Winton is. And they both came to my event. And Sean Miller.
Yeah.
Sean Miller watches my Facebook wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you can take your cues from those guys if you think they're doing good stuff. And not just me, other people too, but we are talking, so I'm talking about mine. Okay. Any other questions, Jocelyn, or things you want to talk about or need in your circumstance?
Yeah, it was. We were going to talk about the Facebook strategies at our next one-on-one. So since we are talking, so you were telling us to just really get our cues from your Facebook wall. So right now, I want to test what I did today with the women there. So that's.
So my best advice to both of you, but I'm going to say it to you, Jocelyn, because you're here. You want to show up in your daily walk on your Facebook wall, which you are intentionally making public and living a little bit out loud, the benefits of being your own client, the benefits of the system and life that you have created. The way I do it is I talk about how much, and I use this, you guys will see me do this all the time, right? You see my hand like this? Yeah. This is the claw. This is this. This is me shooting selfie videos, talking about these things. And it isn't because I think I'm so cool and I have to be on there. I'm on there sharing good and bad. Today, really, or something happened that really sucks. My computer bombed. Holy cow. The fact that I'm even on this computer, so pretend this is a video you're seeing on my Facebook wall. The fact that we're even on this computer today having this call, I'm really lucky, because 2 days ago something happened and I had to reboot the whole thing. I had to start all over, reinstall the system, put 19 million programs on there. It took me like 2 million hours, and I thought I was going to have to buy another computer. Thank goodness I didn't. God bless technology anyway, right? But you know what? Where would we be without it? I am so grateful for the opportunity to reach out to you and whine a little. Hey, tell me your whiny computer story in comments. See ya. It's got nothing to do with It's got nothing to do with my business.
Should my Facebook page be a business Facebook page?
So I used to tell people not to even bother with a business page, but I can't do that anymore, because you can't promote or pay for traffic from your personal page anymore. You used to could do that. So I have both. I have a personal Facebook page that is for nothing except those greener grass videos. I'm living out loud the person that I want you to want to be. And that's how come this guy that I'm talking about that's next hired me, because he watched my Facebook wall and he said, dude, I want to be you. Okay, cool.
So what's your Facebook page, business page?
My business page is Kellen Flukiger, Personal Achievement Coach. Just look at my name. You'll find them both.
Okay.
Okay? And I post stuff on there, but, you know, I actually don't use it as much as my personal page, and I get paid more on that one. But I have a business one, because if you want to pay to have your posts shown to more people, you can do it on your business page, and you cannot pay to have your posts shown to more people on your personal page. So you cannot do advertising on your personal page. Does that make sense?
So what do you recommend for me?
I would recommend that you have Bruce Clinton personal page, and that you talk about how glad you are that you get to use the wisdom that you've learned of all these years helping people navigate the treachery of the changing economy, or navigate the difficult waters of different millennial, different generational needs, of learning how to integrate one at a time. These are little short snippets.
Right, okay. 1 minute videos.
Yeah, yeah.
Business tips.
Yeah, yeah. But tie them to you. You know, this is so different than when I was.
Things I've learned.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes, all the stuff I've learned. You know, I'm 2 million years old. I know, but you know what the cool thing is about being 2 million years old? That means I've had 687 trillion days, and so I know like 587 trillion more things than you do, and I'm going to share some. And you make it funny, and then people laugh, and they come back. And if you share cool tips, they'll come back. And if you're a little funny, people will share your videos. Now, the 50-part series I started 2 days ago, video number 3 is going to go up the minute I get done with these calls. It's about keys to power. And I'm talking about the pillars to power and the palace of power and the pillars and how I'm going to build this. And I opened it by saying everybody needs power. We need it to create money. We need it to create business. We need it to create relationships. But so few people have it. Everybody wants it. Nobody has it. But there's so much of it available. So what's wrong? And then I opened that I got all kinds of comments from people on the wall, plus personally, that are interested. I want to follow, and I got to see this. But my ability to do that has come from my 51-minute videos for the last 2 years. And so people know Kellen puts stuff. He puts really provocative, thought-provoking stuff. And so provoking to some people that they want to pay me. And they'll want to pay you too, about your management tips, about how hard it is to get the valuation up, about how hard it is to bridge the gap. There's a book you might want to read to add to your generational knowledge about managing people, Bruce, and it's called Pendulum by Michael Drew. Pendulum, Pendulum. It talks about the me-we 40-year cycles that spans the intergenerational stuff between baby boomers, Gen X, and millennials. Yeah. and it talks about how we think and how it ties into business, how it ties into advertising, how come millennials would rather have a cause than a job, all of those kinds of things that you need to take into account when you're trying to do holistic human capital maximization processes to build valuation and performance in a company.
What's the author again, please?
Michael Drew, D-R-E-W, Michael Drew. He's a friend of mine. I saw him present it a year or so ago when it was first released. Really cool guy. I like him. He has personally driven 77 books to #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. That's what he does for a living, is help people get to be New York Times bestsellers, #1 bestsellers. He's done personally 77, world record.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I like him. The book's cool. Sean Miller just read it a couple weeks ago. I told him he needed to read it, and he sent me a note back saying, "Dude, I absolutely effing loved this book." And that was his comment in Google+. So, yeah, you know, just so you know, a recent readee. All right.
Remember the mindset you offered, you told me to read? Mindset?
Yes.
I'm halfway through it, and I didn't realize I was halfway through it. I just, you know, the first time I heard you say it, it didn't register with me. It's a great book.
Which one is
versus growth mindset.
Carol Dweck, D-W-E-R-K, Carol Dweck. It's called Mindset, and it's about static versus growth mindset. Whether or not we approach things as though they are fixed, prone to be fixed, and they're barrier-driven, or whether they are open and organic. Whether you're in a growth mindset, you see challenges as opportunities to grow, to learn, as opposed to barriers to be overcome. Am I chiseling down the brick wall, or am I learning how to let the tree grow over the wall so I can climb it? You know, it's notionally how you approach things, and it's a good. You can if you Google that book, you'll see at least 20 or 30 infographics. Bruce, infographics are those cute little pictures where they have circles, and it's what Glenn wants you to do to diagram your competitive advantage. That's like an infographic. So it's a graphic thing that's full of tips or information or 10 most important whatevers. There are probably 20 or 30 infographics about that mindset book. So if you just Google Mindset by Carol Dweck and click on some of the things, you'll find a page that is stuffed with infographics, which are visual representations of all of the things that she's teaching, and some of them are really, really cool. Okay?
Great, thank you.
what was the name again?
Mindset.
No, the
Mindset.
name of the author.
Carol Dweck. D-W-E-R-K.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Well, you two guys are the lucky ones. You're here. We got to talk. What else?
So your main resource is Facebook. Do you go to, if I may ask, do you go to a lot of networking events? Like, how do you feel about it?
I go to zero.
You have lots of speaking gigs, though. How do you, if I may ask, get your speaking gigs? Because I know, like, Glenn was talking to me last time where I think you were coming to Ottawa or something about whatever. There was an incident that happened to an employee. I don't know if I got it right. So it was something about an incident in Ottawa, but I didn't get to talk to you about it. So
I don't remember about that. How I get, so I sometimes go to networking events. I said zero. I treat every event as a networking event. The only time I go to internet or marketing or any of those kind of events is to get clients. I do not ever go to take notes and listen, ever. I never go to get more information. Never. It's not needed. I don't need it, and there's nothing that they're going to say that I could care anything about. Any of that information, it's free, and I can get it online, and so can you. I go there to meet people, to make connections, and to find out what people do.
This is what I do.
Every time I ask anybody, it's to find out what they do. So I'll give you an example right now. I have a client who I got her as a client because I found out that she was interested in getting rid of domestic violence, and her approach is to work with corporations to get some large installed art pieces that are done in a way that, and she's also a playwright and some other things, and she's trying to do that. And so by connecting with her and letting her talk about her passion and about what that does for her and everything else, I learned a lot about her, but it lets me relate to her in a way that is, every time we talk, is always in her language. It's like I'm not even me. I'm talking to her about her passion. She just had a reading of her play. It was actually selected for a reading in New York City, so they got actors, and it's a reading, not a performance, so they're actually reading it, but a reading, and so she's got a bunch of feedback about it again, and she's going to do it. She's actually been approached by a couple of producers, and so this is a process that she's going through, but I connected with her, and the way I did it was just by listening to what she did, and then, of course, in the middle, she asked me what I do, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and so she hired me because I listened, and I said, well, wow, that's really cool. So how are you going to do this, and how are you going to do that? Well, I don't really know how I'm going to get that done. I just know I need to. Oh, wow, what do you think? Well, I think maybe this and maybe that. Well, wow, you know, it just so happens that one of the things I do is I help people do that. I've got a client that was just trying to do this, and we helped him do that. I don't know if that would apply. Really? How would that work for mine? Well, you know, what we might do, that's a conversation. It's not a sales call. It's a conversation. And see, this is why I was trying to get everybody that's watching this, whether now or later, you to understand the 10-step process, the 51-minute things that Glenn or Dave have talked about, the 2-step, the 80-word, you guys, all of those things only have one goal: to get you to clarify in your mind what you do, to get you to be able to say it powerfully, quickly, and easily, and then to learn it so good that it drops completely into the background so that it's automatic and pops out in little dribs and drabs and pieces at the right time. And because you've practiced it, it is so cool that when people hear it, they're like, dang, I got to get me one of these.
It sure doesn't sound all the way natural for me. I'll tell you that. It's got to be a lot more natural.
But you're saying that right now, Bruce. The way that the energy around you saying that right now is really positive. 3 weeks ago when you said it, you had an air around you of fear. Now you're at an air around you of, you know, I really have to do that. I can sure see how that would work, and it isn't yet, but I can do that. But I can see that. The space around you is different. I'm telling you that to encourage you, to praise you, and to tell you that it's moving clearly in the right direction.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Jocelyn, you can see the difference in how he feels.
Yeah, I do.
Right
like there's something like more connected. Yeah.
I'm breathing.
Yeah, you're breathing from the belly, not from the top. I'm going to be your coach, Bruce.
Okay. What else? Anything else?
Thank you, Kel. This is valuable.
Okay, cool. I hope the other people are valuable. So I'm going to say one more thing for everybody. The next personal private calls are on Monday, April 6th. If you haven't scheduled them, I think I put a thing in the Facebook. Did I put a thing in the Facebook for you to pick times? I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look, this is not just for you guys. You guys have got to turn in your accountability transaction forms. I don't care if you like it or not. I don't care if you've got another way of keeping track of your contacts and your appointments and your phone calls or not. I don't care if you've got another way of keeping track of your prospects or not. You have to turn in the accountability transaction form. The reason isn't because I need them. It's because you need to do it in the way that we are tracking so that I can tell and Glenn can tell and we can tell in our effort to help you what you're actually doing.
Okay.
I did mine.
Okay, I'm not just talking to you guys.
Yeah.
There were 3. I'm having Karen send me a summary. She's not sending me the whole thing. Just a summary with, you know, how many points and stuff like that. If you don't turn those in, I'm not going to give you private calls because you ain't executing. I don't know how to be any more clear. If you're not doing these homeworks, practicing your videos, getting until this is fluid and quick for you because you're just messing around with tools. You're messing around with the color of the handle of your screwdriver. You're messing around with the pitch of your hammer face. The only thing that's going to matter is getting your chisel sharp and then go get some wood and chisel and see what you can build and see what happens. And then say, ooh, this is sculpture. This looks like a kindergartner. Maybe I'll give it to my grandkid. Okay, cool. Next one, hey, this looks a little better. This looks a little better. So the tools, the 10-step, 5-step, 2-step, whoever, it's just so that this becomes natural to you. And so it becomes who you are, and so that you don't lose your place. When someone's talking and you're listening, it's like, oh crap, I'm in the middle of step 4, what do I do next? It's like, if you're thinking that, you're dead. You are dead. Because then you're not even really listening. So it needs to be so natural that you don't need to think you're in step whatever. It's just that the obvious next natural thing to talk about is...
Yeah, the only time you use the spiel, so to speak, which is in a B&I meeting, where you got a 30 seconds or so to tell you, to say what you do.
Exactly, that or a presentation. And even in presentations, it's really important to learn to read the room. And if certain things that you say resonate, then focus on that piece of your presentation. Gloss quickly over a couple of other things. Read the room, read the audience, and give them what they want. After they hire you, you can also squeeze in, donkey smuggle in what they need. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
After they pay you, then you can say, I'm going to sell you what you want, dude. And then after we do that and we have a business deal, then I'll also feed you some of the vitamins you need. But if I try to make you think you need what I want you to have to start with, I don't get to do jack because you never invested in me. So then I go away saying, what an idiot. He doesn't even know what he needs. No, the answer really is, what an idiot. I didn't have sense enough to do this in a way that I could help him. Oh, who's the idiot? Me.
I've made plenty of those mistakes.
Okay, so have we all. So good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Too bad the others weren't here to get a little bit of their own stuff talked about. So we will talk to you next Wednesday.
What is the next assignment for next week? Are you going to give us any, or we just do free flow?
Okay, so here's what you guys should be doing. If you do not have your 10-step pitch process memorized forward, backward, upside down, so I can start you at step 3 or step 7, then those need to be rehearsed until you breathe them. If your 2-step, for, what, who, by, they, unlike, whatever that is, isn't perfect upside down and backwards in Chinese and English, I'm teasing Jocelyn, then you are not done. If you're not posting these little short videos about who you are and getting that familiarity so you can bob and weave with that, you're not done. So you have to get those. They're just the tools. And then the real process is the reaching out to people and getting conversations.
I have a question for you for the 10th step.
Okay.
Like towards the end, where you have said everything, where then you are talking about the program you're offering. Would you go into as much detail as I go? Because when I watch the others' videos, I don't see they go in detail at all.
What you do is you don't need to tell them how. You, Jocelyn, spend a lot of time telling about inner body work and cellular level, and frankly, I don't care until I believe that you can help me. And after I've given you money, then you can fascinate me with the how.
So I don't have to say, okay, it's a 6-month program or whatever, because I spend too much time on this.
You do. You do, because until I love you, I don't care how long your program is.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay, this I want to know, because
drop all that.
It's for me to focus on the same thing without me having a clear feedback on that step. This is what
don't worry about all the details of your program. Make me fall in love with what you do, because you've listened to me and you can regurgitate my pain so good that I'm thinking, God, this gal's got to know the answer. She is so tuned up with this.
Got you.
Okay.
I'm glad I asked the question, because I need to know for myself.
Good question.
I don't care how you do it. You can stand around and wave, get up on chairs and dance and wave little flags. I don't care, as long as when I get done, I'm healed, I'm in power, and I'm good. I don't care what you did.
But I know, like, when I go to to group events, they always ask me, okay, what do you do? Then when I say it, and they say, how do you do it? They want to know the modalities, and I don't want to go into that.
then think of short ways to say it, okay? I've got like 3 seconds left. Short ways. So here's what I say. People say, what do you do? You know what? I'm talking not transformational coaching. Transformational coaching is one thing, business. I help businesses figure out how come they're different and better than anyone and grab the top spot in their niche so they maximize their money and their influence. How do you do that? Well, the first thing we have to do is figure out what you're better at than anyone in the world. And then we figure out how to let everybody that needs you know that in a way that makes them believe you're the #1 person. Oh, really? Well, and if they want to know more, then what do? Well, that's a mixture of video. It's a mixture of social media, because that's the thing that's like all over the world. So it's video, it's social media, but a lot of it depends on who your audience is. So why don't you tell me more about your audience and what you do that's better than anyone in the world, so we might be able to talk. Now I've turned it around and I've said, you tell me who your audience is, and you tell me what you need to do, and then I'm done. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to teach you how to connect through the camera. And I'm going to teach you how to make and read and, do the emotional thing and how to create pauses at the right place and how to, I'll give you a blah, 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 blah. Right?
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I got to go. I got my new client.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for the information.
You're welcome. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.